Necessity is the mother of all inventions. We can all agree on that. There is another thing that requires necessity in order for it to be created, and that is communities. If you don't have a necessity, you can trust me on this, a community will not be built. When you need others, well, you tend to seek out help, and when others need you, they will tend to seek you out. Well, I want you to consider where we are in history, where you live, and you tell me whether or not there is a necessity, a true necessity, for you to be in a community. Can you go to the supermarket and buy everything that you need? Most likely your answer is, well, if I have money, sure. Okay. Can you hire somebody to do a work that you cannot do, aka building a house per se? Well, if you have the money, sure, you can definitely do that. Do you need to raise animals in order for you to live? Well, we just previously said, the grocery store is right there. As long as you have money, sure, you can go ahead and do that, and you don't need anybody. Honestly, one of the things that infuriates me the most is when you see folks saying you have to create communities. I said it before, and I will say it again. It is easier to find gold than to find a good community. In fact, it's even harder nowadays because realistically, most people who come around you, well, they're coming around you because they need something or they want something from you, and they put you up here in a pedestal. Like, oh my God, you're so great, you're so that. Hey, can you lend me $20? That's it. So, is that part of their community? Well, I will say that you are being used more than anything else, because a community should be equal exchange. Now, where I come from, a lot of people can make the argument, well, in Cuba there's a lot of community. So. People help each other because they have no other option. Because let's say, remember the example that I gave you early? You need to build a house. There are no companies in Cuba that build houses. So people have to build their homes. So in that case, you knock on your neighbors. Your neighbor, let's say there's an electrician and it works as an electrician for the government. And you say, hey, listen, I need help, man. I need you to wire my entire house. I'm building this shack, and I need electricity in there. And your neighbor will be like, sure, not a problem. The neighbor will either charge you or you owe me a favor. I was always told by my dad that it's a lot better to pay than not to owe anybody a favor. I was told that. And as I grow up, especially here, I came to the realization that he was right. Because you don't know when that favor is going to come and bite you in the ass. You just don't know. Now, in my mind, a favor is a favor and there's no strings attached. If you ask me to help you change a tire, that's it. I change your tire, we will both go on our merry way, and that's it. We done. Not the way that people see it. So, is that a community? To tell you the truth, that's what I struggle with a lot. If it needs to be tit for tat, it's like I don't know how I feel about that. You should be able to call a friend without making him feel like they're being used. Because you talked often, you do a favor without asking for anything in return. You just hang out all the time, and you need a help one day, and vice versa. But that whole keeping tabs, oh, I help you this day, so you need to return the favor. I actually know a few folks like that. A few. And it's funny because I was talking to a community member one time, and even D told that community member, Billy does not ask for favors. Billy pays. the reason is very simple. For me, owing a favor will cost me more. Because as I do a favor without anything, expecting anything in return, not everybody's the same. So that is where I have issues when people say, oh, let's create a community. And that's where I always tell everybody is a lot easier finding gold than not, a good community. And the thing is, we all have our thoughts, and none of us are perfect. We got to take each other, with the good and the bad. But honestly, because the way this society is set up, because we quite frankly don't need each other. We really don't need each other, because as long as we have money, we can do whatever heck we want, and we don't have to depend on anybody. We are missing that community aspect. In fact, I gotta tell you that even in Cuba, where you need people, a lot of times you avoid asking for a favor because of that lingering effect. You don't know when that favor is going to come and bite you in the ass. So a lot of people, even in Cuba, is like, no, I'd rather $20. I'm going to charge you $20 for wiring your entire house. May not be a lot, but that way the contract ended right there. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So in essence, what I'm trying to say here is, if you really want to create a community out of 100 people that you meet, probably one will make the cut. And this is true. This is true. And most likely, you're going to have to go to 200, because that one that you got to be like a good person, and like, hey, mutual thing, life happens. That person may leave. That person, circumstances may change. And that person may be like, well, now, I'm going to use you. Or that person may come to you and say, I feel like you being using me. And that creates a friction. You see what I'm saying? So friendships do come apart. And that is part of life. And communities are no different. Are no different whatsoever. So you have to be aware of those things. You have to be aware of when folks come around just when they need something. That is not truly a community. That is, I'm getting what I want, and I need you to be there when I need you. In fact, one of the things that kind of pisses off when we left Florida was a lot of comments of people saying, like, we never visit you, but if one day we decide to visit you, we know where you are. We know you're there. So they wanted us, to remain in Florida in case that one day they change their mind or they decided, I'm going to go visit you now. So to my convenience, you need to stay what I am accustomed to, or where it's convenient to me, so I can be pleased. Yeah, that crap happened to us. I'm not gonna go more into but it's a harsh thing to deal with when you see, especially family, telling you that shit. It's let's say that it's heartbreaking. And when folks complain that you put boundaries and they don't understand, well, there you have it. There you have it. So without necessity, a true necessity, I'm here to tell you that a true community may be harder to obtain. I see folks saying all the time, the people at my church, the people in my group, this and that. It has been my experience that is not usually the case. Maybe your experience is a lot different than mine. Maybe I'm more of a lone wolf. I never claimed to be one. I don't like it. I have rules that I abide by. Maybe I'm too safe of a guy. Maybe I'm too blunt when I talk to people. Maybe I told people the truth in their face and they don't like that. Maybe I should be more hypocrite. I don't know. I'm too old to change now. I am who I am, and whoever doesn't like me, they can kiss my ass. But I'm telling you, without a true necessity, it is very unlikely for a good community to be formed. Because you need people that really need you. They really need you. Or need everybody. So they can be a tight group. Otherwise, it's just, you say something I didn't like, I'm walking out of here. Screw you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.